Hello there. Welcome to Nana Plodge, another episode of Cooking with Karin. Today, we're going to talk about turkey and making a turkey roll. Thanksgiving has always been a special time in our house. All the way back to my childhood when my mom made this wonderful meal. It's the same meal every year, but it was the one time we all celebrated and we had a great time. For Christmas, we went to my grandmother's house, so Thanksgiving was the one that was in our house. As I got older and I moved away from home in Minnesota and my sister stayed there and my mom retired to Phoenix, we sort of agreed that, Thanksgiving mom would come to our house. Christmas she'd go back to Minnesota with the grandkids and my other two sisters. So Thanksgiving became even more special. And it's grown from a small meal with Shelly and I and my mom and maybe a friend or two to this wonderful thing now that we live here in Vancouver and Portland area with my cousins and my aunt and my family and all of our friends. It's turned into this wonderful celebration with 30 to 40 people every year in our house. We dismantled the living room and turned it into a big dining hall, and I love to cook a huge meal at Thanksgiving. So today we're going to talk about turkey because I've discovered a really great way to make a great turkey, but also save some oven space. You'll also probably notice the brand new kitchen behind us. Last video when I was doing the beer cheese dip, it was sort of taken apart. We had to take the cabinets out, and now we've got all the new countertops. We actually had to take a break for a while because the kitchen was a disaster. More than I ever thought it was going to be. But brand new kitchen, everything's been repainted, counters have been redone, and we've got a wonderful new backsplash. Nice and modern and bright. I love it. Several years ago, I was thumbing through my magazines. It was about Thanksgiving time, and I came across this recipe in the now defunct Fine Cooking magazine that actually made a turkey roulade, the French word for roll. I just call it a simple turkey roll. But they took the turkey breast, stuffed it with fontina and breadcrumbs and sage and sort of made a stuffing, and it was very Thanksgiving-like. I think they wrapped it with bacon and tried to use the bacon to keep the turkey breast moist and things like that, and you certainly can do that. But once I tried it at Thanksgiving and had nobody complain because there wasn't a drumstick, it's the way I've done Thanksgiving turkey now for the last probably 7 or 8 years. A whole turkey takes up so much space in the oven, and my mom taught me to cook the turkey with the breast side down so that the rich dark meat helps to keep the breast moist. It doesn't make a showstopper that you can carve at the table, but I've never carved a turkey at the table. I always just do it in the kitchen and get all the food out on the table. So I didn't ever care about that, but this saves space in the oven, as you'll see as we go through the recipe, and I can use another shelf in the oven to make the creamed corn or bake the stuffing or whatever else I need. So it's simple, it saves space, and it actually takes a lot less time to cook than a turkey. Which also makes everything so much faster when you're trying to get ready for serving 30 or 40 people. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a brine together. You got to plan a little bit for this because you actually want to brine the turkey breast overnight. That'll help keep it moist and juicy as you're cooking it. So we're going to brine the turkey, we'll put it in the fridge, we'll let it sit overnight, and then we will take it out and I'll show you how to roll it and stuff it, and we'll talk about some roll ideas, and then we'll bake it, and it'll be a great Thanksgiving turkey. So a brine for anything, pork, turkey, chicken, is really water with a little bit of sugar, some salt, and then whatever flavorings you want to use. I keep mine really simple with the turkey for Thanksgiving because when I make Thanksgiving, I make like 10 side dishes and I make another entree and I pull a lot of flavor from that. And often with all of those other things going on, people just want turkey and gravy, and I appreciate that. So I make a really flavorful turkey and gravy, but I don't put a lot of other things into it. So I simply add some peppercorns and some bay leaves into the brine, give it a little bit of flavor, and then let everything else go from there. If you want to make a brine that goes Latin in direction, you can put chilies and oranges and peppers in here. If you want to go in a Asian direction, put a lot of ginger or lemongrass or whatever. A brine can be anything. You can take any flavors you want and impart some flavor to the turkey or the chicken, because it works for chicken too. And be adventurous, try anything. But for Thanksgiving, we're going to keep it really simple. At my store, we had a bone-in turkey breast, but sometimes at Thanksgiving, you can get a boneless turkey breast. I know Butterball makes a boneless turkey breast, which is actually even better because you don't have to do this work. But I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually trim the breast off the turkey and off the bone. So, kind of want to start by just grabbing the skin, put your thumb underneath there. You're going to kind of just cut that off a little bit. It's just attached. Just cut that. We're going to peel back that skin layer. There's a little second skin here you can kind of poke in there. I'm gonna get that, and I'll make everything come off. And then I just start pulling with my fingers and moving all around. So you've got that one side of the breast exposed like that. And then the breastbone is right down here. And all you're gonna do is find that bone, and you're gonna cut the breast just against the bone. Cut through that. Mine's still a little frozen. That's all right. Kind of just let that go right down the bone. Might have to work the skin off just a little bit, but you're just gonna work it away from the bone. Up here. Just like that. And then come back in here. And just like that, you've got your turkey breast. We'll do the same with the other side, and then it'll be ready for the brine. Okay, making the brine, as we talked about earlier, is as simple as adding water with a bunch of ingredients. I've got about 4 cups of just lukewarm water here. And it's lukewarm because I want to be able to add the sugar and the salt and just stir that around a little bit and let that dissolve. As long as it's lukewarm, it's not going to hurt the turkey or cook it all, because as you'll see, we'll probably need to add a little bit more water to make sure everything is covered completely. Just stir that around till that's nice and dissolved. Then I add my peppercorns and my bay leaves. Again, you could add some lemon to this or some garlic or whatever you wanted to do. But now I'm just going to put my turkey breasts in there. We're going to add just a little more water to make sure that that's covered. And then we'll put it in the fridge and let it sit overnight. Another couple cups of water in there. So now you can see everything's covered. It's all mixed up. We are ready to go. Our turkey's been brined overnight and we're ready to put it together and get it in the oven. As I said before, you can stuff this with just about anything you can imagine. One of my favorite ways to do it, which is how I'm going to show you today, is, again, very simple. I'm going to use some Boursin cheese. This is the shallot and chive variety, but you can use the garlic and egg variety. This is just what they happened to have at the store the other day. I've got fresh sage from the garden. I've got some bacon. I've partially cooked the bacon off so that it doesn't get too soft and flabby inside this turkey. We're going to take the turkey, we're going to pound it out so it gets even thickness, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we're going to put some sage on the inside. We're going to rub some butter on the outside, salt and pepper it, put a little more sage on the outside, and then we're ready to bake it in the oven. Okay, we are ready to pound out our turkey. I've got a turkey breast here, and you can see it went in like that, right? This is the turkey tenderloin. It's just like a giant chicken tenderloin. But I just fold that out like that. And then I'm going to grab another piece of plastic wrap, put it over the top so that we don't spray turkey guts everywhere. And then I've got my meat mallet. If you don't have a meat mallet, you can use like a rubber mallet from the shop. You can also use the side of the bottom of a pan. Anything to just kind of try and flatten it. My meat mallet's got a real thin little pokey hole side or a thick one. And really what I'm going to do is use the side of the mallet first, just to try and flatten it, because turkey is a little bit tender, just like chicken, and you don't want to tear it apart. All I'm going to do is try and get this flattened out a little bit so that it is all the same thickness when we go to roll it together. There, you can see it's not all square or uniform, and that's okay. Take the plastic off, and then we're going to put about half of our Boursin cheese, save the other half for the other turkey breast, kind of crumble that up in there. If you like a lot of cheese, use the whole pack and then get 2 Boursins. little bit of bacon. And then a good amount of sage. That's what's going to give it a lot of flavor. And now you're ready to just roll it up on itself, just loosely like this. Trying to try and keep the seam side down. And there you go. We'll put it in our pan. All right, you can see I've got my 2 tabs of my turkey all rolled up and ready to go. We're going to sprinkle it with a little bit of salt liberally. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some soft butter and just kind of dot it over the top of it. What this is going to do is add just a little bit of flavor, but it's also going to add some fat that we'll be able to make gravy out of when we're done. So I've got just a couple of tablespoons for each breast that we'll put over here. Then we're going to pepper it and put a whole bunch more fresh sage on the top, and then it'll be ready for the oven. Here we've got our 2 turkey breasts out of the oven. They look beautiful with all that sage on the top of it. I've put them on a plate and we're gonna cover them with a piece of foil just to keep them nice and warm. The pan here is full of nice jus. It's got a little bit of fat in it from that butter. And I'm gonna turn this into a really light gravy. You can just simply pour this over the sliced turkey if you want and keep it really light. But I'm gonna make just a really, really simple light gravy for this. I'm gonna scrape up all the little bits of Boursin cheese that leaked out and all that sort of stuff. And then we'll slice these up, we'll plate them up, and we'll be ready to have some dinner. Our turkey roll-ups are finished. I've made a little bit of light gravy. Smells so good. You can smell the sage, a little bit of hint of smoke from the bacon. Hope I've given you some inspiration for your own Thanksgiving meal. This is great for Thanksgiving because it's sage and bacon and with a little Boursin cheese in there. It's got some great flavor. But again, you can do this any time of year. Turkey roll-ups with any kind of flavor. So hope I've inspired you and made you think about Thanksgiving in a different way, but thinking about turkey all year round. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in.